Welcome back to the mother effing show, guys. What's up? What's up? We got another UFC post-fight episode. As you can see, your boy's not so sick anymore. Still coughing a little bit, but not so bad. So I can indulge myself in smoking some cannabis. As I said in the past, usually if I got some type of if I'm sick and it's any type of cough or anything like that, I generally will stay away from smoking just because I got asthma and stuff like that. It starts hurting my lungs, and I just feel like it takes the recovery process a lot longer. So, as I said, we were back to smoking, and we're back to another episode. Welcome to the show, guys. What can I say, man? UFC on ABC Abu Dhabi. What a title. I'm just gonna call it UFC Abu Dhabi. Whittaker versus the Ridder. What a fight, man. Whittaker, I mean, last time we saw him, he had his jaw snapped by Chimaev in the first 30 seconds. It's good to see him back. Well, we'll get to that card in a second. I guess I like to start from the beginning of the card. At least I don't go through all the fights. I try to, like I said in the past, I try to make this under 30 minutes. But I'll just go through some of the fights I liked and some of the things that stood out. First and foremost, Aaron Pico, his fight got canceled. He was supposed to fight Movsar Evlov. I was excited for this fight. Aaron Pico, he comes from California, Southern California. It's always good to see someone coming from California in general, and then coming from my part of California, you always got to represent, you got to support. For those of you that don't know who Aaron Pico is, he was a rising star. He got signed to Bellator when he was 16 or 17, and for his first year he couldn't even fight, so they basically just paid him to train. He was he started off as a high school wrestler. He was a really famous wrestler, got a lot of hype in high school and whatnot. And then he started taking boxing classes towards the end of his senior year in high school, I believe, or junior year. And he started getting Golden Glove championships and all this stuff. So there's a lot of hype for him. And, a lot of people expected a lot from him. He went into Bellator. His record wasn't too crazy. He had he was really young, dude. He had a couple wins, a couple losses. I think in his mid-20s, he kind of took a long break and kind of started going back to the drawing board. And then we didn't see him for a while because then the whole Bellator thing fell off, and he was acquired by UFC. So this is supposed to be his first fight in the UFC, but unfortunately it was canceled. Maslov got injured, so that fight wasn't even rescheduled. They actually just pulled him out on Movsar, I'm sorry. And instead, Aaron Pico will be fighting Leon Murphy now at UFC 319. So that'd be cool. He'll be here in the United States, so that'd be tight. I'll be watching that one. I'll keep my eye out. Let you guys know what's up. There you go, dude. Smoking on some that's I don't know. My work gave it to me. They labeled it Ratata. Ratata. Not sure what that is, but whatever. Smoke's good, so I'm happy. All right. So first fight that I want to talk about was Grant versus Blackshear. Grant versus Blackshear, man. I don't know much about either fighters. I think I've seen Blackshear fight in the past. Blackshear, talented wrestler. I mean, you can tell he's been wrestling for a long time. Great grappler. Striking wasn't so bad, but I think in this fight in particular, his wrestling is what stood out. In the first round, I remember, I think it was early on in the round, Blackshear went for a takedown, and Grant did everything he was supposed to defend it. He was able to pop his hips out, and he kind of was trying to turn away, but Blackshear just was relentless with it, and he kind of, I want to say he forced the takedown, but it wasn't sloppy. He forced it, and it was very clean and technical, and he was able to pick Grant up and then put him on his back. And he pretty much spent the whole rest of the round just on top of him, moving around. Not too much damage, but he definitely showed that he had the advantage on the ground. I honestly, after seeing that first round, I was like, oh, that's it. I don't gotta see anymore. I was like, Blackshear's got this. He's just gonna keep taking him down. And honestly, I felt like the striking was a little from the first round that it was kind of like a little bit in Grant's favor, but it wasn't like too crazy in his favor. Not like the grappling exchanges were. So I thought Blackshear had the skills to win that fight. But in the second round, man, early on, Grant starts establishing a striking, and his striking starts taking over. He starts throwing combination, keeping Blackshear on his back, dude, and honestly, that whole second round, Blackshear didn't even attempt a takedown at all, which was odd. I don't know if he was like conserving his energy or if he just was having a hard time timing. He was throwing like a 1-2 right kick. I think he threw it 2 times, and I believe it was like a head kick. Beautiful combinations, has very just beautiful kickboxing. So yeah, second round for sure went to Grant. Not much came from Blackshear. Third round. That's when Grant starts just running away with the striking, man. He's throwing combinations. Blackshear can't do anything. He's getting kicked. Dude, Grant was throwing like front kicks to the stomach, and then from off the same leg, he was throwing inside, beautiful kickboxing, really liked what I was seeing, technical stuff. I mean, dude looked like a kickboxer, honestly. Yeah, that was basically most of the third round. I think really what Grant was helping Grant a lot too was he was mixing up his shots. One, he was level changing really well. He would go for the head, he'd go for the body, kick the legs. Not only was he able to level change well, he was mixing up the power and combinations of his strikes. So he would throw like a 1-2 hardest with the 2 hardest, and then he would throw like a 1-2-3 super light with the 3 like hardest. And it just his overall striking was kind of like allowing Blackshear to get comfortable, and ultimately that's what won him the fight. So my man Grant won. I can't remember what country's from, but I'm paying attention to the guy a little more. I think he was a little bit older too. I believe he was like close to his 40s. So that's cool to see. Shout out Grant. I'm interested to see more fights with that guy, dude. Obviously me, I favor the strikers. Sorry, grapplers. No offense to you guys, but it is what it is. We like that. Dude, we like to see people get punched in the face. The combinations were just beautiful. His pressure was beautiful. So, hats off to him. Blackshear though, I want to see him win because I was like, I think I could have sworn he was American, and I'm just like, that's my dude. My dude's in Abu Dhabi. He's got the wrestling. Let's go USA. It's all good. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Overall, that was a good fight, dude. And honestly, this whole card had like a lot of good fights. Like I know UFC's been kind of lackluster. It's kind of got me thinking, dude. There was this rumor going around that Dana's saving like the good cards for Abu Dhabi. And I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it could be true. True, I forgot who was saying that. Maybe it was Brendan Schaub. That will be talking a lot on Dana. A lot of it's facts, though. Can't be upset about it. But yeah, it was a good fight. And the next fight, Salikhov versus Leal. Man, this fight was, Salikhov, I remember I just saw him fight a few weeks ago. He's a Russian cat. Beautiful striking. I believe they call him like the Kung Fu master. I think I could have sworn he's from Dagestan too, but he's more of a striker. But yeah, Islam Makhachev was there to Rune Mata. I think they're training partners or something. Or maybe they're related. Who knows, bro? Or probably both, knowing them. But anyways, yeah, honestly, the fight pretty much ended first round. Salikhov threw a cross. Like this, Leal, he looked like he knew the danger that was coming from Salikhov. He knew Salikhov was like a Kung Fu type fighter. He liked to kick a lot. He liked the space and like favored the straight punches. So it seemed like his game plan was to just push forward and be in front, be in his face, and not allow him to get that space to throw those long shots. It worked for like a second, and then you see Salikhov, he kind of like adjusted, and he turned the corner real quick, and then just threw a cross. Leal was coming in on him and just dropped him, knocked him out, dude, instant. Beautiful KO, man. Hopefully you got some type of reward for that bonus. Pause. But Salikhov, man, yeah, Russian dude. Put it on, bro. First win for the Russians. That dude's old too. It's crazy because these older fighters are kind of like putting it in, or getting it in. Salikhov, I think he's like 41. I don't remember the age of Grant. I believe he was younger, maybe like 39 or something. I could be wrong. Maybe he just look old. I don't know. I'm watching the fights and I'm just smoking. So, Anyways, yeah, Salikhov, dude, he's like 41 years old. He called out Wonderboy Thompson. That would be a great fight. I'm interested in that. Wonderboy, I can't remember the name of his last opponent. A little controversy. A lot of people feel like he won, myself included, but hey, I'm not a judge, so hard to make these decisions. But I think that would be a good fight. Salikhov, I think he knows he's a little bit older, so I'm not sure if he's even gonna try to fight for the belt or if he's just trying to like make some money and have some fun. But Wonderboy Thompson, I say let's do it. Dude, and then the next fight, bro, Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. Man, these freaking Russians, their names are so freaking similar, bro. It's like I feel like they're all just related to Khabib or some shit. Bryce Mitchell, man, yeah. So he was in Abu Dhabi. He posted something about how they beat people in Abu Dhabi, beat him up in the locker room because apparently in the locker rooms out there, you're not supposed to get butt ass naked, which I don't know. I mean, out here, I haven't been to every gym in the world, but out here, at least in California, it's pretty uncommon to get completely butt ass naked in the locker room. I don't know. Maybe he had to change his drawers or something, but usually, like, if something like that were to happen, you'd probably tell people, like, hey, like, I'm about to take my drawers off, just to let them know. I don't know. Foreign country, though. Muslim. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, apparently they beat him up. Anyway, so Said, I'm pretty sure he wanted to get one for his people. He had to get that respect back for his country. Bryce Mitchell. This fight was basically what you thought. Everything that you'd probably think it was. It was like basically a grappling exchange. Bryce Mitchell, he's coming down a weight class. He said that he felt like a lot of the guys he was fighting earlier were just too big, and so he's like, I want to try to. He's like out wrestle like some of these smaller guys. I think I do better. And yeah, man, he fought Said. Dude, Bryce, like right from the beginning, he was like all up in his face and he ate a freaking knee to his face, bro. Sent him, dude. It looked like he almost got knocked out. It literally almost ended in the first round. Said threw that right knee from the clinch, dude, and you see Bryce Mitchell's eyes go back and he fell on his back. And then Said got on top of him. He landed a few good shots, dude. Bryce, he survived, dude. And dude, I really thought he was gonna get knocked out. Or the fight was just gonna be called because he looked. He didn't have like any defense or anything, but he's able to keep his composure, grab him a few times, and he used his guard to kind of survive. He was on bottom, but he actually ended the round on top. After a while, he recovered. Sorry, it's coming to me now. The more I smoke, the more I remember. See, this is why marijuana is good for you guys. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell, he got dropped, and he was able to end the round with him in the more dominant position. He got up to his feet. He pushed Said against the cage. They're in a clinch exchange, and he was the one putting the pressure on him. Overall, I think it seemed like Bryce had the better grappling. He was the better wrestler. Said wasn't too far behind, but definitely Bryce was a little bit more just. See, I don't know if it was stronger than him or just more better than him, but he was able, once he got on top of him, it was hard for Said to get him off. But yeah, so that first round ends with Bryce surviving. Second round, Bryce takes Nurmagomedov to the ground, immediately works for Kimura, and he pretty much holds on to that Kimura for most of the fight. He kept switching between a Kimura and like a straight arm lock. I believe he landed a few elbows. Honestly, the thing with Bryce, though, it's kind of boring, bro, because he'll grab like a limb and you can't get out of it, and obviously the danger is there that if you don't defend it, something's gonna happen, But it's just Bryce is just waiting and holding on to you, trying to wait for you to make that mistake. I feel like if you were to kind of like work more elbows and knees, or kind of just chain his attacks, I like to watch the type of jiu-jitsu I like is when dudes will go for like a straight arm lock, or something, and when you go to defend it, they'll switch it to like a triangle or something. It's like they're I like when they chain their submissions. It's just a little bit more exciting for me. I don't know. Bryce isn't that type of dude. He just kind of holds and kind of forces in and waits for it. So yeah, most of the round went to Bryce just working that Kimura, a straight arm lock. That's basically how the fight ends. Like I said, it's mostly a grappling exchange. Third round, immediately Bryce goes for the takedown. Ends up on the bottom. Oh yeah, Nurmagomedov was able to flip him and reverse it. So he ends up on the bottom. It was cool. I guess it was just some grappling stuff. It was a lot of just Bryce laying on top of him to end out the round and stuff. But yeah, Bryce took the dub. That's just how he fights, I guess. I'd love to see a little bit more boxing coming out of him, but whatever. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm not the one in the ring. You want to win the easiest way possible. If your grappling is that good, then go ahead and grapple your way to victory. If you can win off a jab and only a jab, then there's nothing wrong with that either. But yeah, next fight, Magomedov, bro. This guy, the one-eyed pirate. I've been watching this dude for a minute. I was excited when he got into the UFC. His style, he's got like that. Dude, he's also like a Dagestanian, but like a kickboxer. But yeah, he does it, I think, like very, very, very well. Like his kickboxing he's kind of like an in and out type dude. He looks for his openings. I mean, honestly, I wish he had a second eye, bro. If he had a second eye, I can only imagine the shit we'd see coming out of this guy. This guy does like, he throws like reverse heel hooks, spinning back kicks. I think it was his last fight. He won off of a double spinning back fist, which he practiced, which is so funny. You know, he's just a dynamic striker. Another kind of Anderson Silva, hands down, really fast in and out. But yeah, he was fighting Barriault. I don't know what country that dude's from, but dude, Barriault, he's kind of like more of a traditional fighter. He kind of likes to stay in his guard and then keeps short combination with a lot of power. He's the type, kind of like a Peter Yan type fighter. I think was he Russian or something? I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of similar to like a Peter Yan, just not as dynamic. He's more kind of simpler with his striking. But that's the type of way he likes to fight. It looked like, at least from what I saw. But yeah, first round, Barriault, press forward, good strategy. You know, that's usually the strategy when you're fighting a guy with like a lot of dynamic striking like that. It's like you want to take away that space, and like, you know, so much of that kung fu fighter, like people that do weird shit. You want to keep them on their back foot and try to work your combinations on the inside. You know, but yeah, Barriault gave no space, goes for some clench exchanges. Magomedov, he lands a few kicks. That was the other thing that Barriault kept trying to do, is he kept trying to clench, and he was doing pretty good at holding him like down and shit, but every once in a while Cheryl would like land an elbow or two, dude, and that was like, dude, those elbows were just slicing, bro. Cheryl, he spent a lot of time in Thailand for this camp, and I think it definitely showed in the fight. But yeah, that's basically the first round. It was Barriault just kind of pressing forward and trying to clench a lot, and Magomedov was just landing a lot of kicks, like leg kicks, body kicks, you know, stuff like that. Second round, Magomedov starts the round landing like a load of kicks, just like he ended the first round. Magomedov, he's like landing kicks, and Barriault, he goes in to try to clench him. I think if I remember correctly, Magomedov was able to kind of like fight his hands and then kind of step off, and he threw that front elbow, I believe front left elbow, I believe it was. I could be mistaken. I'm kind of high. Maybe he was from Southpaw, but it ends up cutting him on the top of the head. This is beautiful. Not on the face, but on the head. He starts bleeding immediately. You know, that's kind of how that round ends. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, my mistake. He does that in the beginning of the round. Barriault ends up dropping Magomedov with the cross, dude. I can't remember if he was like on one foot or something, but yeah, he lands a cross and he drops him, dude, and his eyes are open. Dude, completely changes the trajectory of the fight. Like before that, Magomedov was like winning, sliding in and out, throwing a bunch of kicks. Like he was getting hit on, and Barriault started like just shelling up and backing up. And then he lands that cross, and all of a sudden now he's just pressing forward. Cher's kind of like running away, kind of like trying to regain his. Oh, it was an uppercut, by the way, not a cross. Yeah. Uppercut lands straight on his nose, busted it open. Barriault starts clenching, throwing uppercuts, shots to the body. Oh, no, actually, yeah, some knees. And then they have a couple exchanges like that. And then Cher, the bullet, ends up landing a knee in the clench. Barriault goes to grab him. He throws like a knee to his body. And honestly, that was a lot of those clench exchanges. That was the difference between Magomedov and Barriault. Was it seemed like Magomedov was more comfortable with throwing like knees to the body, knees to the back of the legs, you know, whenever you would find opportunities for elbows, you know, whereas Barriault, it looked like he was kind of just using the clench to push him back, and then he would try to like throw an overhand or try to take him down or something. But it was kind of like just a lot more action coming out of Magomedov from the clench, you know. Magomedov started timing like flying knees. The first one kind of didn't land that hard, but then the second one landed hard. The third one he landed like even more clean. And he starts landing good low kicks, throwing knees, good low kicks. Yeah, so Magomedov, he ends up winning that fight. It was a very good fight, exciting to watch, maybe fight of the night. Honestly, marijuana helps. The marijuana give it, and the marijuana take it. Sometimes it helps you remember things, and sometimes I forget. But I do remember that at this point in time, I was thinking this was fight of the night. A lot of back and forth. Honestly, like there was moments where Magomedov was winning, and then he would get hit a couple times by Barriault. Great fight. I mean, like I said, dude, I wish we could see Magomedov with two wise man, Dana White, make it happen. You will get your return tenfold. Believe me. But yeah, that was the Shara fight. Every time Shara fights, man, I always gotta check in. Dude, he landed a reverse hook kick at one point. That was tight. And a reverse hook kick. Just a lot of like kick combinations. You know, I like that stuff. Teeps to the body. I remember the teeps to the body were helping a lot too. Honestly, that's what you got to do when you have a guy that's trying to come forward a lot, like and take away your space. It's like knees and teeps are probably the best way. Knees, teeps, and jabs and low kicks are your best tools to kind of slow them down and stop them. And footwork. Good fight. Next fight, man. Peter Yan versus Marcus McGhee. Peter Yan, one of my favorite fighters. Obviously, this dude, Muay Thai fighter, trains with American Top Team, Tiger Muay Thai. Oh my god, I'm high now. I took like literally like a 2-week tolerance break, and then I just went just full balls to the wall and started smoking like joints every day again. I shouldn't even smoke that much right now for this. Anyways, Peter Yan versus Marcus McGhee. Honestly, this fight, I wasn't sure if Marcus could hang with Peter Yan. You know, that was like a big gap in like experience, you know, or at least at least in the rankings, right? So Marcus McGhee, he's ranked like number 13 or something, and Peter Yan's ranked like number 3. Pause. That's like 10 whole people, dude. You know what I mean? That's a pretty big jump. But you know, Marcus McGhee though, he's scrappy, dude. Honestly, that dude's scrappy and he's strong. He'll like stay in your face, dude, and he's not afraid of, you know, he's not scared. He's not scared of a rumble. But yeah, he showed up and it was a good fight. Peter Yan, obviously, the first round he takes the first round slow. I think that kind of set him back a lot because while he's able to get his reads from Marcus McGhee is also kind of like getting more comfortable and getting his reads with Peter Yan, you know. And Marcus McGhee, dude, he's really good at fighting like long and stay on the outside. And Peter Yan is like the opposite. He's like likes to stay tight and like get as close as he can, and he'll like catch the end of your combination, and he'll come back with his. Not really a volume guy, more of a power guy. But damn, when he lands, and he's, you know, pretty accurate usually. So there's that. But yeah, first round definitely went to McGhee, throwing a lot. He threw a lot and was very active. Was moving around. He's throwing a lot of 1-2s from, I believe he's a southpaw fighter, if I'm not mistaken. One of them was southpaw. I can't remember now. But yeah, a lot of 1-2s, and they were getting through. Honestly, like they're getting through Peter Yan's guard. It was kind of, I think it was surprising him on many times it was landing. Like he couldn't. It seemed like he was having a hard time timing it, trying to block it. You know. I think he landed a good 1-2 to his face like two good times. You know, that kind of set him back. Yeah, McGhee started mixing in some body punches too against Yan, who throw that 1-2. Yeah, he was southpaw 1-2, and then right to the body while Peter Yan's all with his high guard. Honestly, that's what McGhee should have done. Is he should have got like that. That would have been a good strategy, was to go for Yan's body a lot, because he likes to be like this, just up here protecting his face and stuff, you know. Throw like a quick 1 to his body and just level change like 2 to the body. But yeah, first round is pretty much like I said, mostly McGhee. Second round, actually it was the second round when McGhee landed those 1-2s 2 times into the body. My bad. I wrote some notes down here, just stuff that I like that I messed that part up. But Peter Yan, he starts getting more active. He ends up splitting McGhee with I think it was across to his face, just straight across. Dude, I mean, honestly, Peter Yan from first round to second round is like scary how quickly that changes. Like in the first round, he's kind of tagging you and blocking. He might throw 1 or 2 strong shots, but then once round 2 starts, it's like everything he's throwing at you, he's trying to kill you with. He's just like, and he's so like technical, and even when he misses, he doesn't throw himself so far off bounds. So he'll go off bounds, but he's not like spinning all the way around. He's like, whoosh, and he's able to just recover and then just kind of shell up, dude. That's pretty much his style, you know, just shell up and fire back. But yeah, second round, you kind of start seeing Peter Yan take over. He starts pressing forward now and pushing McGhee back, actually. And McGhee started working a lot on his back foot, like starting the second round, actually, now that I remember. Yeah, third round, all Peter Yan. Yeah, third round. Oh, yeah, third round was kind of lame. Now I was like reading my notes, dude. Third round, early on, Peter Yan ends up getting body lock, and he has McGhee against the fence. They're both pretty tired at this point. They kind of got tired in the second round. The second round was really fucking magic with that. You guys got to watch that second round. But he has him, and he's kind of just like kneeing the back of his thighs pretty much for most of the fight and kind of not letting him out. That's pretty much how the whole third round went. I kind of wish he would have separated at like the last minute and just kind of used more of his like Muay Thai and just boxing, because that was honestly like looking really good for him. And you know, we're here to watch the fight. But I get it. Peter Yan, he's getting older. He's ranked number 3. He wants to try to secure a title shot. So he's like, I'm just trying to win this as easy as possible, taking the least amount of damage, and hopefully I can contest for the title or something with the next fight or two. You can't hate on him, bro. You can't hate on him. But old Peter Yan would have never. We'll call that the Aljo effect. But old Peter Yan would have never. He would have just tried to kill you the whole time. And but yeah, you know, he couldn't put out Court McGhee. Court McGhee, I think even though he lost that fight, I think we saw a lot. I think we saw the potential that he has, and honestly, even though he wasn't he wasn't able to beat Peter Yan, I think he should be ranked a little higher than the number 10. Like, I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't be or 13. There's no reason why he shouldn't be in the top 10. So we'll see what's up with that. That was weird. Stop recording, but we're good. Yeah. So Peter Yan secured a dub. We'll see who's next. I can't remember if he called anyone out or anything, but Peter Yan, yeah, Tiger Muay Thai, shout out. Main event, you know, Whittaker versus Ridder. I knew going into this fight that Ridder had a chance of winning, but I think Whittaker was going to take it, but I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ridder was able to beat him. You know, Whittaker, like I've seen him fight taller guys, and sometimes he has a hard time with taller guys. I just think because he's like such a short guy and he likes to fight. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, scratch tags. I've seen him whatever. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, this fight, I was like, damn, Ridder might actually have a chance. And the first round, it didn't look like, I thought after I saw the first round, I was like, oh, I take it back, dude. You know, Robert Whittaker, you know, first round early on, he started landing a lot. His 1-2, he started establishing that he had better speed. And dude, he got his distance so quick, dude. He would hop in, boom, touch him up, and then hop out. Ridder cannot like time him at all. It just seemed like he was a lot slower than him, and he just was having a hard time dealing with that speed. It was mostly a lot of 1-2s coming from Whittaker, though. Whittaker kind of tried to take him down a few times. Ridder tried to take Whittaker down a few times. He grabbed his leg, had it for a second, tried to drag it. Wasn't able to do it. Second round, Ridder kind of starts using a left knee. That seemed to kind of like be a good answer for Robert Whittaker's speed, is when Whittaker would come in, that straight left knee. I guess that rear left knee, because he's southpaw. It kind of just stopped him. Even if it didn't like land hard, it would make Bobby either like use his hands to block or just kind of stop him from coming forward and landing that 1-2. It was a good adjustment. I think Whittaker was still landing more shots though, coming in and out with jabs and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and then probably like at some point, and I think towards the end of the round, one of those knees actually hit Whittaker, and it kind of sent him to the ground. Oh yeah, sent him to the ground, dude. And Ridder got on top of him. Yep. Kind of the round ends with Ridder on top of him. Third round, Ridder's pressing forward. Oh yeah, in the third round, Ridder tries throwing that straight left knee, and Whittaker is able to kind of time it and shoot. I think, was it a right overhand or a left overhand? I don't remember, but he was able to time an overhand, drops Ridder, gets on top of him, and starts landing some ground and pounds. I thought the fight was going to end right there, dude. Like, that fool was just eating, getting mollywopped, but he was able to survive, and he was able to get up to his feet, but he got messed up. I believe he was bleeding too after that. Oh yeah, and then Ridder was able to take down Whittaker. Round actually ends with Ridder on top, but honestly, Ridder didn't really do much when he got on top, and he kind of like he got a takedown. I think he shot for a single or a double, I can't remember, but Whittaker wasn't able to stuff it. He kind of was trying to hop back, gets taken down. Ridder gets on top, doesn't really land a lot of damage, but he does give, I think, more control. In my opinion, I think Whittaker won that round just because when he dropped him and the ground and pound, Ridder got more ground control. So I don't know. We gotta look back and see what the judges chose. You let me know in the comments what you think. Go watch that round. Fourth round, some clinch exchanges. They're both pretty tired. Not a lot going on. Fifth round, honestly, going into the fifth round, I'm like, dude, whoever at this point, I can see whoever wins this fifth round is going to take this fight. And, you know, Whittaker tried, dude. He kind of went in. He knew, like, this is a championship round. He took the last round off. But in the fifth round, I think he really started to kind of jab more, pressing forward. He looked like he was so tired he couldn't land his straight 1-2 anymore. And he was slowed down a lot. So Ridder was able to, you know, like I said, timing those knees and like punches and other shots like that. Overall, it was kind of a hard round to score. Yeah, it was. I can't remember a lot of the fifth round. It was hard to score. In the end, Ridder ends up getting it. I can't really argue with that judgment. I thought Whittaker had it, but I could see Whittaker. I got to rewatch it. You know, maybe because I want Whittaker to win. So in my head, I'm thinking that I'm biased, whatever. But I got to rewatch it. I'll let you guys know. And this concludes UFC Abu Dhabi. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.